Hey, what's up everyone? GP Hustler here. I just want to make a quick video on this product that I found on the Facebook Marketplace. Somebody was selling this PC. It's got an i5 processor in it, I believe. I'm going to go through all the specs once I don't know if you can see in there too good, but I'm going to go through all the specs once I get it all open and everything. I gotta open it up, clean it, show you guys everything. This is what came with it. I paid $400 for this. There's a 2080 Ti in the computer. Came with 2 monitors, some speakers, a Corsair keyboard, all the cables that you could possibly need, extra HDMI cables, little mouse pad and stuff like that. Not a bad deal. I was able to talk them down from the asking price and get this at something that I thought was fair. So I'm gonna go through and clean this entire computer. It is very, very dirty. You can already see some of that dirt right there on the fan. It only gets worse on the inside. So I'm gonna take it apart. I'm going to clean it, show you a little bit of that process, and put it all back together, and we'll see what we're working with. All right, so what I've done here is I've just taken the side panel off and unhooked the side panel fan. I just want to show you guys a little bit before I take it outside and start cleaning it, but I want you to see absolutely how filthy this thing is. Might be hard to see in there, but there you go. I mean, it is absolutely disgusting. The GPU looks pretty clean compared to the rest of it. I still got to get in there and get it out, but as you can see, this is disgusting. We're gonna get it cleaned up though. All right, so right now I'm in the process of taking like some of the fans and stuff off like that. You can see, I'll show you the dirt here in a minute. But I just wanted to show you this real quick because I was trying to figure out how to get in here so I could clean that off and wonder if this has like a door or something, because I want to get this fan off, right, and out so I can clean it. But check this out. Want to see something horrifying? And look at this. This is just a simple pull. A simple pull. And you can clean this. Look at this. Look at this. I almost want to hold my breath. Bro, guys, clean your computers, please. Please. All right, here we are. We got some of the parts outside. I still got the case to bring out and clean, but I'm going to clean these first. Believe it or not, it's a little bit windy out today, and some of the dust has actually already blown away while I've been setting up the table and bringing these pieces out. But hopefully you can still see what I'm going to be working with. This is probably the dirtiest PC out. Look at this. Look at that. That's a whole wig. Somebody's pet is in here. This is the dirtiest PC I've ever seen in my entire life. It's going to be one of the most satisfying cleans ever. Stay tuned. Yep. All right, here we go. Finished cleaning up the parts. Forgot to take a little after video of the parts, but you'll see them before I put them in the computer. But this is what we're working with in here. I was outside cleaning so much that we lost daylight. So this is all the pieces cleaned up. Sorry about the lighting, but these are all the pieces nice and cleaned up. What a difference, huh? Here is the tower. Motherboard and processor all clean. Everything looking real good. Getting ready to put it all back together. All right, we're starting to put it back together now, and I just wanted to show you the wiring before I put the back case on. That's what it looks like all tied up. A little more progress here. Got the power supply installed, a couple more things plugged in. Getting pretty close to shutting it up. It's looking good though. I'm very happy with how this has come out so far. I hope it's translating on camera well, how much cleaner this is, and hopefully gonna be much better PC. All right, so just a little context here. The PC that I'm cleaning came with this, and this thing is beautiful. I'm gonna be completely honest. Looking at the steel back here and everything and the ports, and with how clean this thing, I haven't touched it. It just came right out of this same dirty computer, right? This thing is mint condition, and I don't understand. The only thing I can think is they actually had it plugged into the motherboard the whole time. And if you look here on the motherboard, oh, the lighting's terrible, but let me tell you, they look, the ports on the back of the motherboard look slightly used, if you know what I mean. You know how they're just, like, that looks from the factory. It looks like nobody's even tried to plug anything in. These fans don't even look like they've spun yet. So I have a feeling they were plugged into the motherboard the whole time and never even used that GPU, which is very sad. The reason I'm making this little video is, well, I wanted to explain that, but also, we've got a family that have been incredible supporters on my channel for a couple of years now, and I've always wanted to do like something nice for them, obviously. Like we do nice things for each other back and forth. Anyway, so it's the Napos. You guys have probably heard their names. Well, Napo himself has a 2070 Super in his computer. Okay, so this is a member of my community, by the way. He has a 2070 Super, and he's been looking to upgrade for a little while. Like, he's in no rush, you know what I mean? He's got a lot of other things going on in life, and it's a great GPU. So I looked up this, and looking at the quality of it, I was like, you know what? What if I just offered him a clean swap? So that's what we're discussing right now. He's going to give me his used 2070 Super, and I'm going to trade him this. I guess I calling it used, but I'm telling you this thing's brand new. So I'm going to test it, make sure it works and everything, and then I'm going to send it to him, have him test it, play with it for like a week and see if he likes it. But the numbers that I did comparing the 2070 to the 2080 Ti, it's a pretty significant improvement, and I would love to be able to just do that for him, to swap that right over to him evenly. As you can see, there's another graphics card right here. This is actually my backup graphics card. You know, before I bought this PC to flip and sell, this is just a graphics card that I have sitting around. I actually have a backup computer that this was basically in. I've taken it apart, cleaned it, really nice. Now this computer has an i5, it's a Z97 motherboard with an i5 4690K processor. This would be a little bit overkill for that, plus the fact that I'm going to be trading it for the 2070. But what I'm thinking is I'm going to put this, the 2070 in my backup computer that had that in it. It's, you know what I mean? So it's going to have a 2070 Super instead of the 1070 Ti. And I'm going to throw this 1070 Ti, which I know works great. I'm going to throw that in the computer. I think this is an incredible pairing with the i5 that's in it and all the specs that are in here. I really think it's going to work well. That'll, you know, pretend that's a 2070. That's going to go in my backup computer. That's going to go in here for the flip project, and we're looking pretty good. All right, here we go. We're about to set the side door up, and it's all done. Hope you think it looks a lot cleaner than it did. We would have more lighting if we were outside, but I used the whole day cleaning this whole thing. 1070 Ti's in it. I'm excited to boot this thing up and see how it performs. I'll let you know. All right, so it's all put together. and I started it up. Everything runs. It's got the 1070 Ti in it. I just need to install Windows on it, but change of plans. So this is my backup computer. All right, and I just took this power supply out and I figured I'd start recording all this. I'm gonna clean this all on camera too. This is my backup computer. It's got an i7 7700 in it, 16 gigs of RAM. The 1070 Ti was in this computer. It's now in that computer. So what I'm doing is I'm actually gonna swap as much as I can into these two computers to make them two great computers for what their builds are. This case is bigger and has more airflow, and it's got the 850 watt power supply in it. So I'm going to swap this motherboard and this processor, which is the 270 motherboard, the i7, and I'm going to put this 2080 Ti on it to test it, and then I'll be getting the 2070. And this will be my backup computer. Excuse me, yeah, I'm going to be putting all this into the bigger case. And then in this smaller case with the 600 watt power supply, which is great, is going to have the i5 4690 and the 1070 Ti. So I think this is gonna work out great. It's just quite a big change of plans, but I'm gonna try to get you guys as much of the content as I can. All right, so we got this PC torn apart, and we're just gonna start blowing the dust out of it now outside. I'll give you a little sneak peek of that. Don't want to spin the fans. That's not very good. I'll put the camera down. Put the camera down and I'll do some more. Here's the motherboard and aftermarket CPU cooler. Hope you can see that. All right, little update right now. I've gone through and taken, this case is completely empty now. This was my backup computer. This is gonna get the Z97 and the i5 and the 1070 Ti. And also the 600 watt power supply that was in my backup. This is an 850 watt power supply, which I'm gonna need for the 2070 or the 2080 Ti. That is the Z270 Pro motherboard with an i7 7700 processor. There's a physical hard drive in there right now and an SSD, but I'm about to put that SSD in there. So there'll be two SSDs in there, one for games and one for operating system and stuff like that. So it'll just be a 2 SSD system. I might even leave the 1 terabyte hard drive in there just to have it. But that's where we're at right now. I'm gonna go hook up the cables and stuff like that. I'm sorry you not get to see the footage of me installing. Like, I'd like to maybe in a couple of these future episodes maybe set up like a time-lapse video. But right now, I'm just trying to stay focused on what I'm doing. I'll see you guys in a minute. All right, so I forgot to record a little bit of the process, but here we are now. The other computer's done. I think you guys saw that. I know I finished a lot of it. I was live streaming, and I finished the other computer already. Maybe I'll get some footage of that when I'm going through the footage. See if I don't have enough, I'll take it outside and get some footage. But here we are with the second computer now. Motherboard's in, everything's clean. Got the fans on the front, the back. SSD hard drive, 600 watt power supply. That's the i5 4690. I'm about to put the 1070 Ti in there and the front panel with all the connectors in it. But that's where we're at now. We are working on the second computer, the computer I'm gonna sell basically, because the backup is completely done. We ran it last night on the live stream. I had Cyberpunk running. The GeForce Experience put it up to, everything was maxed out, like higher ultra, and then it had ray tracing on ultra and everything. And it was running like a steady 60 frames everywhere through the benchmarks, everything. And it looked good. And actually, the 2080 Ti was shipped out today. So that should be to Napo soon, and then he'll test it, play with it for a little while, and then send the 2070. All right, here we are. We're in the BIOS. This computer is running. I might take this this front piece off. This thing right here is just a bar that goes across, and it like houses a little fan. I think I'm gonna take that fan out and install it right there, and take that whole sidebar out, because you can't see the the graphics card, and it lights up and stuff. So that's good. You know what? Let me do that real quick. All right, so I decided to just take the bar out in general, and also leave the fan out. I couldn't find correct like screws to go into where that fan would go, and I think it'll be fine just pulling in air anyways, because there's enough fans in this for what it is. This is what it looks like running. It's not going to go to BIOS right now because I forgot to press the button. Let me start up and go to the BIOS. But here we are, second computer done. All the fans are spinning. It's hard to tell in there. That lights up nice. I think I forgot to hit it again. Nope, there we go. Yeah, I'll let you know how it goes after I install Windows and everything, but we're pretty much done. Successful on both computers, cleaning them both really good, swapping everything over. So now we have the smallest case has got the i5, the 1070, one SSD, and one terabyte hard drive. The backup computer has the i7. Wait, what did I say was in there? That's the i5 and the 1070 Ti. The other computer has the i7, and it's going to have the 2070 Super in it. And then my main rig has the i9 with the 3070 in it. All good to go. I believe this one's going to be for sale. I don't have a reason to have a third PC. I haven't even had a reason to use my second PC, but it's great to have a backup. Let's get Windows installed on here. All right, so as this computer is done, I now have the benchmarks for it. This is what we're looking at right now for the computer for sale, the third computer, the one with the i5 and the 1070 Ti. All right, it's been a couple of days now. I have the the RTX 2070 Super. I just flipped this over and I noticed that all of these are loose. I looked inside and I couldn't find anything, but then I looked in here and I found screws. So I'm gonna tighten those up and clean these, and hopefully these foot pedals will be better. The computer is looking so good right now. We're gonna get the 2070 in it. I do have that. That came in. I'm gonna unbox it and show you guys that in a second. Actually, let's get to that right now. All right, so this is the 2070 Super that I traded for the 2080 Ti to my buddy Napo. He sent me this and a nice little care package with some money and some raw products. Wasn't expecting that, but that was a nice little addition. Here is the 2070. He sent it in the original box. He cleaned it up a little bit and he put it in the protective wrapping. I'm gonna go ahead and get this out because I'm trying to do this one-handed. I'll set it all up and then I'll show you before we install it. All right, and there it is out of the bag in the box. It looks very clean, and I trust Napo. The only thing I'm gonna do is, just because it's me, I'm gonna go ahead and give it a little extra cleaning, just so I know in my mind, and I can tell people without worry that, hey, I cleaned it, it's good to go. So we're gonna clean that up. We're gonna tighten these feet and clean those. I'm gonna install that, and then I'll show you what it all looks like before we power it up. All right, here's those little feet that I took off the bottom. Just a quick little insert we're gonna do here. Not bad, but I'm glad I took them off. I'm gonna clean them up. All right, so I know to a lot of people that's probably ridiculous and overkill, but I like to do everything completely. So we got the legs are on all nice and tight. These are super tight now. This one was missing the rubber. So I put a very thin piece. It's hard to actually see how thin that is, but I took one of those furniture slider sticky things and I cut it down as thin as I could get it and put it on there. So it should be about the same level as those rubber strips that are on these right here. So it doesn't damage anything that this computer might get sat on. Like I said, a little bit of overkill, but it takes me 2 minutes and it just makes me happy knowing that every single piece got cleaned. All right, here we go. The 2070's in. Oh, we do got to power it up, but what we're gonna do is we're just gonna plug the power cables in and then we're gonna lift it up vertical and we're gonna power it up and see what happens. All right, so we got the computer plugged in, got it ready to go. I do not have the disk drive plugged in. It's not gonna be used. And that 2070 is so big that the SATA port that it plugs into, the very last SATA port, or there's 2 SATA ports available, but I can't plug anything into them. So the disk drive is just not gonna work. I'm gonna keep it in there because I don't have that extra cover that goes with it. If it ever needs to be used, it can be plugged in and used, but nobody uses disk drives anyways. So anyways, here we go. We got the computer all plugged in. I've got a little test station set up here. We're gonna try to give it some power and see what happens. And of course I don't have this on, so let's do that again. That's on. Let's try this. Hopefully the power supply is on. Let's give it a go. Hey, we got some lights, we got some fans. I better turn this little TV on to see what happens. We got lights, we got fans, everything's lit up. We got a picture on the screen. Let's see, HDMI, so it should come on because we are plugged into HDMI. I've got this side fan open, or this side door open, obviously, so I don't know if any tiny little dust got in. All right, it says no signal, so let me try to, it might be on a different HDMI. Hold on. All right, here we go, take two. There's only one HDMI port on there. Can I help you? Can I help you? Oh, you trying to fix it for me? Well, let's see if Tyson fixed it. All the lights are coming on. And we should be getting the motherboard splash. Hey, there we go. All right, so the HDMI is working and everything. I don't know what happened when I first powered it and there was no signal. It could have been something with the TV or whatever. I'm gonna go through, I'm gonna adjust all this. We're gonna mess with the RAM speeds and everything. I do believe I gotta get Windows installed on here too, so that might take a minute, and we'll be back right after that though. Computer's up and running though, huh? Look at that. God, I love that so much. See you soon. All right, here we go. The computer is installing Windows. I'm gonna let you guys know as soon as that's done. Everything's running great, looking good. Well, I think this might be the end. I'm not sure. I don't know what else to do. I could tweak it a little bit, but here we are. The computer is up and running. Windows is fully installed. All drivers are updated. I haven't tweaked anything. I've just installed Windows, installed all the drivers for NVIDIA and stuff like that. These are the scores we're getting right now. 104% gaming, 89% desktop, and workstation 88%. When I go down and check all the pieces of equipment, they're performing very high, way up in the green. Like I said, I still got a couple more tweaks I can do. But this is where we're at right now. So to recap everything, I had two computers. I've got my main computer that I stream from, which we won't even get to that, right? I got my main computer. It's got a 9.9 and a 3070, whatever. Then I had a backup. I had a backup computer, just ready to go. It was my old build before I built the new i9 with when I built that computer, the i9 with the 3070. I built everything up from the ground up, because what I've been doing probably for the past maybe 6 years, I guess, like with PC building and stuff like that, I've always taken stuff and kind of upgraded each model as I go. So the one that I use for streaming and whatnot and all my content creation that I currently use, my main station, I built that from the ground up, every single piece. So that's my baby. Super high scores, everything scores like well over 100, 130% on that one. That's fully tweaked up and ready to go though. So then I had a backup computer, which was the backup computer that I had just been upgrading for a little while. I've been upgrading it for a couple of years before I got that new one. So that was just always sitting there. I didn't want to sell it just in case something happens with the new one. You know, anything can happen, malfunction, something, and I got a backup ready to go instantly. I stream every day, create content every day, so I can just be up and running instantly. So I've always had that backup computer. Well, I was scrolling through Facebook Marketplace like I always do, and I saw this really good deal, almost like too good to be true kind of deal on there. They were originally asking, I want to say like $800, something like that, maybe $650. So I don't remember what the original asking price was, but I ended up getting it for $400. And it had this case and a 2080 Ti. You've seen everything. You've seen it all. You've seen the whole video by now. It had all that equipment that you got in it. So we swapped it. We swapped everything that was the best of the two computers, my backup and the Facebook Marketplace computer. I took everything that was the best of those two and built this. Minus the 2080 Ti, we sent that to Napo. The 2070's running great, and this is what we have now. So we built the best of all of the backup stuff. I actually already sold the third computer. So I don't even have it here to show you, but you already saw it earlier in the video. You've seen that it's completely done. The lady that bought it was very happy. I don't want to give out exact numbers, but I was able to make a profit. This is what totally happened for me. I was able to, with that $400 investment, I was able to make a profit. It was about $100 profit I made total, a little bit more. But I don't know how to consider that because I sold the computer for $525, but I don't know how to consider the rest of the profit, you know what I mean? As far as, like I said, we sent Napo the 2080 Ti. I've got extra monitors now, extra keyboards, all kinds of extra cables. I was able to upgrade my backup computer into this this would be, the third computer is going to make them very happy. This backup computer would make someone so stupid happy. So it makes me very happy that it's my backup. I'm actually going to be using this in a different location in my house, actually pretty much where you see right now. We got a podcast coming, hopefully. I really want to start doing some podcasts. I like to, interact with other people and have discussions and stuff like that, and pick people's brain, have people pick my brain. So we're gonna have a little podcast going. I believe that's what we're gonna use for this. Maybe travel PC. We'll see. You know what I mean? Because I've got my main station that I'm gonna be using. But I know this was a lot in the end of rambling, but I wanted to give you guys the whole story. You can see the computer running here fine. I'm gonna obviously put the side piece on and be done with it. But yeah, that was this was a nice little what did we call this in the start of this? Hustle it or something like that. We got to come up with a great name for this series, like Hustle This or something like that. You know what I mean? Like I said, able to make a profit, heavily upgrade my backup computer, hook up a member of the community tremendously. You know what I mean? I'm very happy with this project. If you guys liked the video, I know it's a long one, especially with this rant in the end, please subscribe to the channel, maybe give the video a like. That's how other people see the video. I really appreciate it. I love you guys so much. I can't wait to do episode 2. Have a good one.